Have you ever thought why Christian apologists are like this?
Let's talk about how many people atheists have killed.
Atheism killed?
Yep.
Holy sh**. You're the most uninformed mother seen on the planet and a demagogue.
Really?
Yeah.
Was Mao Zedong an atheist?
Mao Zedong was the leader of the people.
How many people did Mao Zedong as an atheist murder? Good. Roughly around 100
killed
million.
a lot of landowners.
Mao Zedong, an atheist, murdered. How many people did Joseph Stalin, another atheist, murder? How many people did Joseph Stalin murder?
40 million?
Okay. How many people did Adolf Hitler, another atheist, murder?
He wasn't an atheist.
Yes,
he was raised
was.
Roman mother Catholic.
No, he wasn't a Roman Catholic.
He was raised Roman Catholic in the
Yeah, so-
Austrian Empire.
You were probably raised in a Christian home if you lived in Texas, so it doesn't mean you're a follower of Christ just because you're raised in a Christian home. All right?
Why should
It's
I be
all right. I
respectful?
like him. It's okay. Don't worry. We're doing okay out here. I like your passion, okay? I love your passion, all right?
First of all, I understand why he is this angry. He got into his skin. It is normal when you are not familiar with this kind of people. This is the only thing they care about. The only thing they care about is finding some arguments, some points against your thesis. They have no intellectual integrity whatsoever. So naturally, when you are not familiar with this concept, these kind of things, methods, games they play, feel like how can someone be so irrational, so intellectually dishonest? How can someone be using this kind of stupid argument? Who would see this as a proof? You think like that. Over some time, you get used to this. So he is actually right. There is nothing wrong here to get angry because he knows he's wrong. No need for that kind of stupid analysis, okay? It is normal. The reality is that this is your reaction when you see the person in front of you is so irrational, so intellectually dishonest. Don't see the obvious points. This is your reaction when you are not familiar with this type of people. So, for example, look at this argument. How many people atheists have killed? The first thing that comes to mind is, how do you know it is caused by atheism? I mean, look at these countries. I mean, aren't there any other bigger correlations like their ideology, their rest of the ideology, like Marxism? For example, if it is actually caused by atheism, think about the great amount of violence. If it is actually caused by atheism, then why aren't the rest of the West, the Western secular countries, aren't that violent? Why is it only exclusive to Marxist countries? I mean, think about this radical change when you shift your focus from Marxists to other seculars. Think about the amount of change. I mean, it is so goddamn obvious that it is correlated about the rest of the ideology of Marxism. Only the religious people uses this kind of stupid things to prove their point because they don't have actual arguments. They can only appeal to this kind of psychological games, make you angry, or just have a gotcha moment, play some mind games. That's all they have. Yeah, and also, how can you think like people from this ideology did this? So this ideology causes this. You need a stronger correlation here. Like we see about the Marxism. Every one of them were this violent, right? And also we know the actual reasons. We know their actual justifications, their motivations, their justifications in their theories. And then we can say, yes, it is actually caused by this ideology. But you don't have any of that. If an atheist kills people, no matter how irrelevant it is, there are other atheists. There are more atheists, more secular countries, seculars on power, and they don't commit these violences, these war crimes, mass murderings. We don't see any of them. But when a believer kills people, believer harms people, no matter how much correlation you see, no matter how many of these people justify these things this easily, no matter how often they openly justify their violence with their religion, their beliefs, it doesn't matter. They are never a true believer. They can never be a true believer. But when an atheist does this, when an atheist does something wrong, it is immediately a definitive proof that atheism causes this. This is the mentality. This is their mentality. How he copes with the fact that Hitler wasn't actually an atheist. Hitler was a Christian. Yeah, he was just a wrong Christian then. I mean, if someone commits a crime, it is because of their belief, unless they are from my belief. In that case, they are just a wrong believer. This is the mentality. So it is actually very normal if you are not experienced with these people. It is actually very normal to get agitated, get frustrated with their insanity, their mind games, stupid dishonesty. Because you think that if I was in his place, I would never think of using this argument. And this is actually the case. Most of us were believers. We are not in a case that majority of atheists, we are still not in that time. It will come, but right now, the vast majority of non-believers were believers before. This is the time we are living in. So this is what most of us experienced, right? I will talk for myself. I was never like this. Most of the arguments Muslims used, I was a Muslim, Muslims used would just frustrate me like, why would you use this? I mean, this is not intellectually honest. I would never forget about thinking of using this. You would be openly disturbed by this logic. So it is normal to get frustrated. But we need to think about how this results. First of all, he will have more things to show to people. See, you will just actually encourage him with his insanity. He will show that, see, he got agitated because he knows I was right. That's what he will say, probably, or other believers. And this, as you get aggressive, he is still calm. He seems like handles this good, and he has so great defenses against you. So he doesn't need to, get stressed. But actually, no, we know that you are just trained that way. You just trained yourself to be a good debater. You have intellectually no power, no authority. Second thing, we should have these debates. We should discuss with these people, but not in this way. Because in this way, when you face with these people, your reflexive answers would actually, if you think about this deeply, you are trying to convince that person. Like if you are not experienced with this, you will be trying to convince that person. You're trying to, how can you be so irrational? This is this and that. You're trying to convince them, but it will never work. They won't be convinced. His whole personality, his whole career is revolving around these tactics, these debates. Of course, he will never accept that you are right. So we should keep in mind while we are debating these people, we should keep in mind that we are trying to convince the audience. We are debating them to show others how irrational they are. We are trying to show that, see, this is the fallacy he commits. This is how intellectually dishonest these people are. This is what we should do. And also, let's talk about a little bit about this whole argument of, atheism causes. Like I said, first thing to think about is, why is it not the case where every secular country, commits genocides? But you see an incredibly strong correlation with this violence and Marxism. It is obviously caused by Marxist ideology. It has nothing to do with atheism. Everyone would figure out this. Only these believers. The only people who thinks atheism causes these horrible things is believers. How can you think that this come from atheism? You see how they justify these violences. They openly say they do this because of their ideology. And also, when you look at that ideology, that killing, those things has nothing to do with atheism. I mean, if you can say when believers do these violences, you can just say those were wrong believers. Okay, then I can say that they were wrong atheists, which is actually the case, by the way. They are atheists, but genuinely, it has nothing to do with atheism. We know that. But in your case, you're actually wrong. Your religion did cause those violence. We know that for a fact.